So as we get centered back into the life of worship, we recognize that we have gathered here today, but to dismiss the children off to Sunday school. Come on over, Signy. Okay, so any child in the house that wants to go off to Sunday school?
I gave him the eyes. All right, kids, want to help out? All right, here we go.
Okay, thank you, Signy. That look did work. So that we came to be a part of a worship experience, and part of the experience is a time in prayer. And prayer is a very, very personal moment. It's a moment that we share with each other. It's a communal moment as well. And during this time of prayer, you may have your own petitions. You may have your own words that you want to have with God. And so I'm going to invite you to have a moment of silence with me. And that during that moment, go ahead and lift up your prayers to God. And then we will join our hearts together as a community. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, Mother and Father to us all, you revealed yourself to us in the form of a child, of a newborn. And on this day when we have baptized such a beautiful, beautiful child, we are reminded of the beauty of your creation and how wonderfully perfect we are made and formed. And as we make our way into the world, we're grateful for the many different parents and grandparents and godparents and neighbors and teachers and nurses and loved ones who led us and guided us through life, protected us from harm. But we are aware, oh God, that this world is far from perfect. We're aware that there are temperatures soaring way above normal throughout the planet. That there are floods raging in times and seasons of the year that are not normal. That farmers in the southern hemisphere are having a hard time because the crops can't figure out what exactly is happening. So as creation cries out for help, oh God, we, as your church, offer this time of prayer, this time where we join our hearts together, knowing that here in this corner of paradise, we're almost sheltered and isolated from all those troubles around the world. But may we each, as individuals, become part of the solution. May we join forces with organizations that are seeking to make a difference. May you lead us and guide us, oh God, to the best way to restore our environment. And sometimes we do it for very selfish reasons. We don't want another red tide hitting our shores. We don't want a hurricane hitting our neighborhood. But may we also be mindful of those communities living in poverty that don't have resources, don't have options as the waters rise and flood their streets. We thank you, O God, for the many blessings in our lives, the blessings of love, of a hand to hold ours, of a gentle caress in the middle of the night, of a loved one that said, I do 65 years ago, and still today is steadfast and strong. And for the many different ways that you show us that you are God. As your Spirit moves through these pews, as your Spirit moves through our lives, we turn our lives over to you. Remind us that we have to let go and let God. Remind us that we are yours and that we should not worry and fear not.